Okay, so after implementation, immediately hypercare will start. We can call it as hypercare, or also you can call it as post-go-live support activity. It's a kind of a warranty. We build, the implementation partner has built. The implementation partner, as per the agreement or negotiation with the client, 30 days to 45 days. Okay, 30 days to 45 days, they can support at free of cost, except the new changes. Okay, so new changes they are not accepted here. New changes are chargeable. Those are called change requests or CS. What are the configuration they have done in all the modules? They have to support for 30 to 45 days hypercare with free of cost. In this time, the client has to take a call. Okay, implementation partner is going to support on this. This is our implemented. And next, the client has to take the call. Okay, implementation is done. Then the next phase is support. Support the client can give to the same client, or support project the client can give for different implementation partner as well. Okay, so the client has to take the call. So what happens? The client will allow bidding. So Accenture, Deloitte, even Hewlett Packard. Now the name has changed. Alight, or else collaborative services. So what are the implementation partners we have? They will start bidding. Okay, once they start the bidding, whosoever giving the quality work with less cost and less time, the client has to accept that. Okay, so once the client has accepted, for example, let's take Accenture won the bidding. Let's take some other company. Alight won the bidding. Okay, so Alight is going to support from here onwards. Whatever the issues the client is facing, or what are the enhancement the client wants to the existing configuration, Alight is going to be support. Let's assume implementation has done by Accenture. Support is going to be done by Alight. Here they have to create a process. What is the process? They will divide the tickets into 4 categories. P1, P2, P3, P4. Okay, P1, P2, P3, P4. They'll divide the tickets into 4 categories. So P4, it might be a small change. Change name to the employee, change date of birth for an employee, change assign social security number for one employee, one employee transactions. P4. Here both the companies, client and Alight, has to agree what is the maximum duration of time the transaction needs to be completed. Or else maximum. Some clients will ready to go with 60 days also. So any change here is categorized into P4. Within 60 days, Alight support team has to resolve. P3, mass data changes. Means changing social security number for 100 employees, changing compensation for 1,000 employees. Mass data changes. Okay, those mass data changes will falls under P3. So this ticket can be fixed around within 30 days. Okay. Now next one is P2 category, business process changes or any executive level employee related changes, talent and performance related changes, compensation benefit related changes. Okay, any change which related to the employee is going to affect or impact on the payroll. benefit change, compensation change, executive level employee change, any employee dependent details change, whatever it is, those changes should be completed within 2 days. Okay, the P1 ticket, mostly the payroll and compensation are hire business process, request compensation, change business process, or change job, and termination business processes. This has to be taken action within hours, not even days. It can be vary between 2 hours, 1 day. Okay, so we'll categorize the tickets into P1, P2, P3, 4, and both client and Alight has to agree the deadlines. Okay, so P4 tickets, these are tickets will fall under P4, and these many days they can fix. P3, these many days. P2, these many days. P1, 2. Then after that, I decide the communication channel. Who is the project head from the Alight? Who is the project head from the client? So weekly they have to connect, or monthly they have to connect, or bi-weekly, or every fortnight, whatever. They have to decide the communication. Okay, and also here they need a tool. It might be Jira, track, service. Okay, and Salesforce. So we have ticketing tools, correct? ServiceNow, Jira, Salesforce, and etc. So in this ticketing tool, client has to own this ticketing tool. So if there is any issues or in the configurations or any concerns on configuration, they have to raise a ticket in these tools. So they have to raise a ticket. So when they're raising the ticket, they have to give the description of the issue. What is the description of the issue? Full description. So where it's going to impact? Is it a configuration change or a new change? Or how many days you are expecting to complete this issue? You have to create a ticket and you will submit it. Once you submit it, it might be in the queue. So you will assign this ticket based on the module to the right person. For example, Debash is a compensation lead. Ashish, you are a benefit lead. If the issue is a compensation related, you will assign to Debashish. If it is a benefit related, you will assign to Debashish will assign to Ashish. Okay, like that they will assign, and the clock will start from there. Once it assigned to you means these hours or days it will be start. So we have to go to the description of the ticket first, whether the client has properly explained everything and are you clear with the requirement or not, what the client exactly asking you or asking you to fix. If you're clear, you can start working on that. If you're unclear, you have to you have to send a mail. On the same tool, you have to send it, hey, could you please explain me in detail about this issue? I'm also available if you're okay to connect on the call or Skype. So you have to connect and everything you have to record. I connected to XYZ, I connected to ABC, I got clear my doubts, and this is the exact information where we have to need to fix. Everything you have to update in this Jira tool. That is a proof you are working on that. Okay, and the status will be work in progress or on hold, need more information. Okay, once the data you're clear, and then you start configure that thing. Let's say they asked you to update compensation or salary information for 100 employees. So you're going to update that information in the sandbox. Okay, you're going to update the compensation related changes, whatever it is, in the sandbox. So once you update the changes, let me tell you the best practices. So when they're giving the employees, first make sure whether they give all the details or not. Employee ID, how much change in salary has to be loaded, what is the reason to load, from when this change should be effective in the system, effective date, what is the salary plan ID if you have multiple plans, what is the frequency and what is the currency. All these details you need. The client makes sure they have to provide all the details with you. So when they provide all these details, you'll map the iLoad and you will load into the system. First you have to validate it, then you load into the system. Once you have loaded the details, you have to create a custom report and fetch the new changes into the report for validation purpose. Once you get the result in the reports, you are going to validate the custom report data with inbound EAB loaded data or client provided data. If everything is in sync, that's a testing point. Then you can say, yes, we have loaded actual results for the client. Then you will going to inform. So what you did here, your role, receiving the ticket, analyzing the issue, fixing the issue, validate the requirement, validate after loading the details. Then after you will inform the client, hey, I have updated the details in the sandbox. Could you please take a look and review and let me know if you have any concerns. You will send out a mail communication. Also in the Jira tool, you will send out the same, you copy paste the same description and I'll update it. So that person who shall raise the request, they will receive a mail. So whenever they have a time, they will review all the changes and they will sit on, if everything looks good, they will tell you, hey, I'm happy with the changes and could you please take, this is an approval and move the changes to the production environment. Okay. Some clients also we have where they don't respond to your mails. Maybe they're busy with some other uh, priorities or other activities. You have to send a gentle reminder. So these are changes I have updated. These changes may lost as part of the weekly update. Could you please take a look on this? Reminder 1, reminder 2, reminder 3. Till reminder 3, they are not responding, escalate to the next level. Okay. You should not do the rework. Okay. Once you got the update from the client, since everything looks good, then you have to proceed for production movement. So you have to take an approval through the mail, not on the conversation, on the call. You have to take a mail from the client. Okay, once you take the approval, you got to paste it in the tool again, and then you will move the change to the production. If it is a one employee fix, directly will log in and fix it. If it is a mass data changes, the same EAB you use it in the sandbox, you have to load into the production environment. Or if it is a report you have created, you have to migrate the report to the production like that. Okay. So once you are loaded, and again you will ask the client, once you load into the production, hey, could you please review the changes? The client has to review the changes once you load into production as well. And once they have reviewed and approved it, which means you can close this ticket. And that this is the process and roles and responsibilities as a support consultant. Okay. So any questions here? Devashish or Ashish in the process?
So, you said analyzing the requirement, then analyzing the tickets or validating the tickets, then um, whatever changes we need to do, we'll do it, and then we'll upload in Sandbox. Is it
Right.
okay? And then we'll send an email to the client
Correct.
asking them to review it.
Correct.
Okay.
And also, let me explain one challenge also here in the day we have. They are updating the changes. So we're updating the composition. If you don't mind, please go ahead. Thank you. So updating the composition changes in the sandbox. Remember, any changes you update in the sandbox are valid from Monday to Friday in IST. Okay. Any changes you are updating in the sandbox are valid. Those details are available from Monday to Friday 11th. Sorry, not Monday. Saturday evening. 4 p.m. 4 p.m. to next Friday 11:30 p.m. Client has to perform. If the client failed to validate from Monday to Friday, what are the changes you have done in the sandbox will be deleted automatically. Okay, the reason is production environment, sandbox environment are both in sync. The sandbox tenant will be refreshed on weekly basis. Okay, so what happens? Let's say you update the compensation changes in this week, and next Friday night, that is Saturday morning for us, it will be refreshed, and sandbox will update it as a copy or updated as a production tenant. Again, you have to rework it. So that make sure we have to ask the clients to review in this time. Okay, or else sometimes what will happen, we may get a very big task, the kind of mass data changes for 1,000 employees, 5,000 employees, etc. In that time, it's not recommended to do within the sandbox. It's recommended to do in the implementation tenant, because if you do the implementation tenant, the changes will remain same until for 6 months. So you can client can validate at any time. There's no time restrictions. So based on the issue of the ticket, we have to identify whether this change can do in sandbox or in uh, implementation tenant. That also we have to agree in the written document. Okay.
If it's more than 1 week, then we need to do it in implementation tenant or what?
We have to recommend to the client, but call has to take the client. He will say, no, I don't have implementation access. The client doesn't have implementation access. Only few clients have. So please do in sandbox. I have only sandbox access. So we have to
I
do.
have one simple question. I mean, is there any separate login for this sandbox tenant or implementation tenant or gold tenant?
Yes. Of course, yes. We have separate logins. Production and sandbox logins remain same. As I said, every week sandbox has updated as a production environment. So whatever access you have in the production, that will be applicable to the sandbox. Okay, but implementation, the access is again a different one.
Okay, so how do you know that this is sandbox or this is production?
So we have two different tenants, two different URLs. Whenever you want to log into the sandbox, you have to use that URL. Whenever you want to log into production, you have to use the production URL. Two different URLs. It's not one.
Right.
Some clients also there, they never give access to the production. They will give limited access. For example, you Ashish and Debashish. Debashish got a ticket. Debashish got fixed that issue and asked the client to validate the issue. Client also happy. And client asked Debashish to send the details into the production. Now Debashish send that mail to client, some other client who's our control in the access. Then the client will give access to the production to the Debashish. Once Debashish update the production changes and inform the client who's our product access, immediately they will disable the Debashish access. That is also there. We have two different clients. Limited access means they will give you access once if it got the approval and are moving the change into the production. We have other clients, irrespective of the number of tickets or approvals, they will give the production access. Both the clients we have. Okay.
So which type of ticketings are easy? Right? You said P1, P2, P3, P4.
So this has to be discussed. Normally P1 always BP. And BP also only 4 PPs. If you're initiating hire, the hire is not completed. but the employee joined in the organization, it's going to have a very big impact to the client. Correct? If you terminate an employee, the termination is not completed in your system. Once it is not completed, means severance payment is not going to be processed. Leave of adjustment is not going to be processed. Okay, that's going to be a very big impact. Compensation changes, promotion, or chief level executive officers, any transactions, it falls under P1. Also, payroll. You run the payroll for an employee, but the employee is not able to see the pay slip. Or employee is not to see the payment in the bank. This is hyperpay ticket, P1 ticket. Immediately you need attention. Okay, so here they'll categorize which are all modules will fall under P1, P2, P3, P4. Which are all tickets and tasks can fall under P1, P2, P3, P4. Some clients are there, they will say, hey, I will build a team and my team is going to be hold only P4. I need support only from P3, P2, P1. Okay, and there is also a clause in the agreement. If that implementation partner alike is not able to fix the issues within the 2 days, okay, then what are the charge you are doing to the client, you have to pay to the client. Company has to pay to the client. Okay, that's why we have deadlines strictly, and both has to be agreed on this, both parties. Give me a second, I'll just bring my charger. 1 second, please. And also, if someone asks you, have you worked on P1, P2 tickets? Please say no. Okay, they may ask you set of more questions on these two. Always say, we worked on P3 tickets and P4 tickets, but we supported P2 tickets with my senior person. Like that. And if anyone asks you what is the validation or approach you will follow, you first say, once I'll get the request, I will validate it, or I will analyze what is an issue, and I will ask more details if the description is not clear. So once the description is clear, I'll analyze the requirement, then I will fix that issue in the tenant or sandbox. They'll inform the client to and after fixing it, again you will validate. Okay, then after I will let you know the client about the fix. And once I got the approval, then I will move this fix to the production. Then again I will inform the client. Okay.
Can you give us some examples of P3 and P4 tickets?
Yeah, sure. So P3 tickets means mass changes, hire 30 employees, compensation changes, a remote salary plan for 50 employees, or salary amendments like adding the changing the salary amounts, changing the currency, creating 30 positions, update job profile informations or create new job profiles informations, or mass termination of 30 or less than 50 members, you can call it 50 employees, or creating a new inbound EAV, or creating a custom report for the client. Any analysis related ticket, time off or absence or benefits, all falls under P3. P2 means BP will come in picture here. Any business process related fix, okay, or any termination hire related fix, or executive level employee related fix. Sometimes client they will behave smart. Though the ticket is P1, okay, though the ticket is P1, they will raise it as a P2. You know why? The billing is less here. As a consultant, you have to analyze this is a P1 ticket or P2 ticket. If you think it's parts of P2, P1, we should let the client know, say, this seems the P1 is hypercare, so I'm going to change the status with your approval. Could you please approve it? Or some clients, though it is a very least priority, without have knowledge or they want to force it to work immediately, they will raise it as a P1. Once you have to review it, and you have to find it whether it's a P1 and P3. Okay, we have smart clients around us.
Kiran, how did you, go about these tickets? How did you solve these tickets? Suppose you said in P3, changing currency or mass termination of 50 employees. Then how did you, solve these tickets?
So when you say mass termination, as a consultant, first we know how to build an inbound AIB. Okay, so once you know how to build an inbound AIB, then after you have to ask the client for the details. If you want to terminate an employee, what details we need? Employee ID, termination primary reason, termination secondary reason, service date updates, whether you want to rehire that employee or not, regrettable or not. Do you want to close the position if the employee is terminated? What about the F&F, severance payment? All the details you need. Once you got the details, you have to map in the template, then load into the workday. Sorry. Once you get the details, you have to map in the template. First, you have to validate it, whether the provided results are accurate or is insufficient. Once you validate it, you have to load into the tenant. Then after loading also, again, you have to create a custom report to make sure that 30 employees are terminated with effective dates. Then this is how we have to fix it. So refer to the integration session inbound AIB how to create. You will get an idea.
How about this P4?
P4 is like simple things. Change employee name, assign social security number to an employee, change matter status, this employee recently got married, or correct employee hire date. These things will fall on any employee data related changes. Okay, for one employee, it falls under P4.
The change job falls under P3 or P4?
Change of normally client will do that. We are not.
Okay.
If that not working as expert, for example, you are promoting an employee from organization to organization A to organization B. You are promoting an employee organization A to organization B. Organization B have two positions. One position called senior manager, and you want to move the employee to the senior manager. So you have initiated promotion. Once you initiate promotion, you are trying to move the employee to the new position. But unfortunately, you are not able to see that position over there in that organization. Though the position is available under organization, in the change of process, you are not able to see that position. So client is raise a case why it is happening. Now you have to pitch in and analyze why it is happening. The reasons why the position is not visible. Two reasons. The person who so initiated may not have security permissions to access the position, or the position restrictions are different to other country, or the job profile assigned to the position may be restricted to some other country, or this person is trying to promote an employee with some effective date. By that effective date, this position is not created. So these four might be the reasons where the position is invisible. So this we have to analyze and learn. However, as a starters, if you're stuck any issue, you can 1 second, please. Okay, you can post into the community. The people in community, we have people, they will help you. Okay.
I mean, Kiran, all these tickets, right?
Yeah.
Like change employee name or changing of marital status.
Okay.
We will definitely not get these things in an emails, right? So where specifically you can get the ticket?
In the ticketing tool, we are not supposed to work any ticket which is not tagged to the support in these tools.
Okay, so in this tools we will get the tickets,
Right.
and after we receive a ticket, what exactly will set up a meeting with the client or how is it?
If your requirement is pretty clear, you can go ahead and fix it. If you have any concerns or if you don't have a solution to fix it, it's always recommend to the client. It's always recommended to connect with the client to give the reasons.
Okay, and we need to ask some related questions. I mean, suppose change employee name.
That's what
Um,
I'm saying. P4 tickets, most of the clients they will own it. Okay.
okay,
They have their own team. They'll build their own team. They will own it. Sometimes what happens, if they don't want to build a team, they may push on us. Both the things are possible. So though they have team, people doesn't know how to fix. They will push on us. I saw all. I mean, in my experience, I saw all the types of clients.
hmm.
So don't worry, guys. We have a community. Whenever you're stuck, just post your question in the community. Once you assign to a project, you will get the community access, so that the community is a good guide for you initial day.
Kiran, I'm thinking from the interview perspective, right? I mean, the first question they will be asking us. I mean, what do you do? You know, what's your roles and responsibilities, or what do you do on a daily basis, right?
Right.
I mean, the answer should be we uh, review the tickets from the supporting tools.
So you
What
can
did you
tell
say?
them, yeah, I'll quickly summarize. You can tell them I'm working as a support consultant for a manufacturing industry, and my responsibility is so just make sure the queue should be clean or clear, and we are responsible to take care of the tickets and addressing the client queries, helping the clients and resolving the issues and fixes. And we are using this is the tool. Either you can take one of the tool. This is the tool we are using for our ticket purposes, and I'm responsible to fix P3, P4 tickets. And on an average, I'm working on, don't say more than 5. Some people will say 10 or 15. No one will work on 10 or 15. Say less than 5. On an average per day, 5 tickets. So overall, my entire team per month, we are going to work for 200 to 300 tickets per month. So, and they may ask you a question commonly. Once you get the ticket, how will you start the ticket process? You can tell this.
Correct.
So once I get the ticket, I will see the description in the ticketing tool. If the requirement is unclear, I will immediately put the ticket on hold status. I will connect with the client through the Skype or a call, and I'll make sure clear the requirement. Then only I will start configuring. Always use the term validation, prior validation, post validation.
And do you have um, any screenshot or any sample of how this ticketing tools look like Jira? I mean, how the tickets come in front of us. I mean,
Actually,
how does it look?
I don't have, but still okay. What is there? We can So I request search for these three tools in the Google first. You
Yeah.
have screenshots and explain. They are also explaining you. Simply, you can go to ServiceNow or Salesforce ticketing tool and search the process. So they will explain you. You have screenshots. They will also explain how to log a ticket, how to work on a ticket, how to close a ticket. Is there available in the Google? You can take help from that.
Sure.
If you have any question, let me know. I will help.
So, Kiran, you said Accenture is the company who has configured the tenant for the client, right?
Right.
And the client did not choose Accenture to support them. They in fact chose Alight to
I like
support them, right?
right.
And we, as in supporting consultant, will be setting it Alight if we take this example, right?
Right. Correct.
Okay.
So always, if you're implementing from A, you should not go for support from A. You have to go for support from B. Then your config remains quality. These people, they evaluate the quality of the configuration. Client doesn't know anything except spending amount about Workday. They always depends on the support people. So that's the reason if someone is implemented, no client will go support for the same client. They will go for some other client. So that they will go for some other implementation partner or service partner. So that they will validate the configuration, how the Accenture has done. So very rare case where the implementation partner and support partner are same.
And also, Kiran, there is one more thing. You said some tickets, right? Change employee name or change marital status.
Right, sir.
So, what are related questions you can ask to the client related to change employee name?
So change employee name, if they're saying simply change employee name means for whom, which employee we have to change. They might have given some Ashish. You're searching with the name Ashish, you realize there are 4 names with Ashish. You have to post a question saying